I might just kick my feet up and do absolutely nothing today. How does that sound? Mrs. Bricksie's over there. She's ripping through some parts. Love it. It's fantastic. I'm just kidding. Of course, we're going to do some stuff today. It was an average start to the day. Dropped the kids off at the old day of care there, and then drove to the studio. A little bit of snow on the roads, so a little bit slow getting here, but then quickly typed up this script and printed it, so that was good. And now we're getting ready to start the day for the Lego City aspect of it, right? So we're thinking dog park. A luscious green dog park, even though it's all cold, snowy, and rainy outside. We're going to build a nice green dog park. Mrs. Bricksie was saying, well, maybe what we need to do is add some yellow and brown spots in there. That's great. Great storytelling right there. You know what I need to do? There's these mics. I use the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. See, that's my mic right there. That's why I'm always wearing this weird thing. I need to buy the dual transmitter for this. So you get two mics, and it transmits wirelessly to the camera. So I'm looking at that today on the computer here. $350 US for that. I have the Rode mics, but then it's just not as good, not as seamless, you know? So I'm thinking about doing that this morning. So we can mic up Mrs. Bricksie, right? Because a lot of the time she wants to be part of the conversation too, but she's way over there. You won't hear her. Or I have to like ramp up the audio in the editing process, and it's just weird. It just doesn't work out as good as you would hope. But Mrs. Bricksie and I are going to work on that today, and then I've got to film something else and just sort of chip away at the city. Mrs. Bricksie's working on filling some parts right now. Let's see what set she's working on. While she was digging through parts, she found this little pirate. What set are you working on there?
Santa's workshop.
Santa's workshop. And you need a black steering wheel?
I found it.
You found it? Oh, good.
That's where I found that pirate.
If I was looking for this pirate, I would also look where I put the black steering wheels. That makes sense.
That was miscellaneous. You didn't have a home for that guy.
Yeah. Cool. So you're chipping away there. Look at that. Professional. Bag 1. Bag 2. Bag 3. That's Santa's workshop. That's a good set. That's beauty. Very good. All right, let's get started here. Oh my gosh, there's a rocket above a Star Destroyer. Sure, that makes a whole lot of sense. Having a look at the city though. Yeah, I want to mic up Mrs. Bricksie. I think that would be awesome. We have the Rode dual mic, but once again, it's just not like as cool because it doesn't connect wirelessly to the cameras like those DJI ones. So might have to do that. Mrs. Bricksie's always here and we're always working together, and it would be nice to get her input on some of this in the video because there's a lot of behind the scenes conversations that happen between Mrs. Bricksie and I. It would be nice to include her in some of the video or more of it, right? So the dog park is going to go right there beside the diner. You can see people will be able to have their dinner and watch the dogs do their business. Because we also want to put a little outdoor seating spot right there where people can enjoy their food from the diner outside and watch the dogs have some fun in the dog park. It makes sense. I'd want to eat there, right? That's cool. There's two super cool dogs over here. Well, they're all cool, but look at this Pluto. I can't even remember what set that came in. Such a nice looking Pluto. I'm guessing it came in a Disney set. Anyone else came in a Disney set? Doug from Up. Two super cool dog molds. You know what? Maybe I need to bring the Up house and put it somewhere in the downtown core, specifically beside skyscrapers. That sort of makes sense, doesn't it? Just like the movie. I like grouping all the houses together, but maybe it needs to go like over here somewhere. My goal is to add elevation to this dog park. We've got 4 base plates, so we've got a little bit of surface area to work with, but not like a crazy amount. But I don't think we want to allocate any more space to a dog park than 4 base plates. That's already quite a bit. So I put 32 studs over here, and this is going to be for that little seating area outside of the downtown diner. And then I started just placing these 16 by 16 plates with the underlying brick. I've offset them because I'm going to cover this with 4 bys on the left, right, and front, because of course this is going to be right up against buildings. So this has to start at Mills plate height, and then maybe we can build it up here. And of course I'm going to build it up by just adding more bricks to the underlying brick. But in order to do that, I need to build up the sides too, because this is going to be popping out of the earth and you're going to see colorful bricks. So I've got my colorful brick there for creating a stronger base around the perimeter, and then I've got my green brick for concealing all of those colors and blending in the height. I've gone around and just laid my green bricks. You can see the border of colorful stuff and then the green brick. The plate will sit right on top of that. And I changed up some of the underlying 2x2s to 2x3. And what that's going to allow me to do is just pop these 2x4 bricks like that. And then I can fill all this in with 4x4 plate all on the low ground. Except for right here, we'll fit a 16x16. And what's different about this is that I'm actually putting the green brick around the border. Classically, what I would do is just build it using all the colorful stuff. And then once I get my elevated ground, I would go around and blend it in with green brick. But there's not a whole lot of space to work with here. So this time, I'm bordering it all so I don't have to do that blending work. For example, right over here, you can see the colorful brick, but I'll have the space to blend it in here because we got a little bit more depth to work with. Whereas over there, I don't. So I'm bordering it all with the green brick rather than leaving the colorful stuff exposed. Should say I did all that for 3 bricks of height. She says, what's going on here? I thought you'd already have the dogs placed and everything. Hey, it takes a long time just to get 3 bricks of height in the Mills plate. But as you can see, I decided not to do the bordering brick here because for the most part, we're going to have to put 2 plates or whatever it is along these seams or ridges here to blend it all in. But hey, at least we got 2 bricks of height, and if we want to go, or sorry, 3, and if we want to go up to 4, we can do that just by adding bricks up top here. Now, this is going to sit next to those platform coverings, which are on full base plates, but they have 16 studs of breathing room right here. So maybe what's going to happen when we build that mountain is those platform coverings that have the 6 bricks of rock, I think, on the bottom of them, maybe that mountain is going to get built out into the dog park. That might be pretty cool. There we go. The green hill is all blent in. I had a lot of dark, light, and metallic gray ingot pieces. Pretty cool. You can make a really nice looking trail, and I created a circuit here in our dog park so people can walk the circuit while their dogs run about. Now, I don't want to just throw white fence elements in. I think that would be rather boring. So, I'm going to bust out this magical bin right here, and inside we have all sorts of masonry bricks in earth green, olive green, dark orange, reddish brown, and much more. And I'm thinking we can use those elements to create a pretty cool stone wall that will border the entire park. I experimented with quite a few different color combinations for the wall. There was light and dark gray, but then there was just too much of those colors with the combination of the wall and also the trail. Then I moved on to the olive color that you currently see in the wall and dark orange. That didn't look too good. Also, I was mixing in light and dark gray cylinders and also the 1x2 modified plates, and it just became too much color. So we stuck with just light gray 1x2 modified plates and cylinders. And because I used those elements and I offset them how you see there, we're able to curve the wall, which I think adds a really nice texture. And we ended up going with the green colors. So we've got the forest green, sand green, and also olive green. You can see the entrance to the dog park right there. We finished off the wall, or began the wall, with the modified 1x2 slope piece that is 2 bricks tall. And this wall is just tacked in place every so often. You can actually see the 1x1 plates that hold it in place, and that just allows it to curve and swerve all over the place. And I actually have used this technique to build bridges and also The circular shaped wizard's tower, which sits right beside the king's castle here in the medieval area, which is still not really under construction. But yeah, that's the exact same technique. You can also build arched bridges using those modified 1x2 plates, and you can see a great example of that right here in the medieval area. The stone wall is tacked down at the beginning, and then there's points of contact all the way along, giving it its really cool curved shape. And we managed to continue up on the high ground here as well, just by tacking it right down to the studs. So these ones here, or this section here, is attached to the actual studs, but then it continues to swerve back here because we're on flat ground again. And then it bends around the back corner and around this corner where eventually we're going to have a seating area for that downtown diner. And then it sort of goes straight right back toward the entrance of the dog park. I like the color combination of the wall because it just adds some more varieties of green color and it doesn't stand out too much. It doesn't take away from the details of the actual dog park, which is good. So yeah, it's 1x2 rounded plates, 1x1 plates, and then the cylinders, masonry bricks alternated like that, and then topped once again with the 1x1 plates and the 1x2 rounded plates. So we've got our trail here, and right when you come into the dog park, there is a place where your dog can refresh itself, have a sip of water there. You can see that gentleman has a ball, and there's another ball right behind him. Also, if you forgot your dog bag to pick up your dog waste, well, luckily for you, they've got some at the park right here, and you can see a trash bin full of the dog bins or dog bags that have been filled by dogs. We've got all sorts of dog walkers going around. There's got a Dalmatian on a leash there, and then we've got one here that's catching a ball. Another one here that just finished doing its business. This one is being rewarded for its good behavior, having a nice seat there. And that is the benches that we designed. So it is built using 1x2 brackets with the upright studs, I guess. And then there's some more brackets on the back, and that creates the backrest. And we finished that off with some tiles, and then we put a 1x8 tile on the front. And we did the rounded plates on the bottom, and our main colors are reddish brown and dark tan. I was messing around with some brackets to come up with a custom trash can design, but it just became too thick, so we decided to use those brown crates there. Looks like there's two dogs that are getting in a fight over here, and the owners are a little bit disappointed with their behavior and a little bit frantic. Well, at least this one is, but the other one actually looks pretty proud of his German Shepherd there, taking on the Husky. Yikes, man, get that dog under control. We added some fern elements, some little sapling trees with the candlesticks and the fern elements. And then we also added some more fern elements like this to represent small bushes. I was adding some of the pre-molded bushes, but I figured that looked a little bit better. Here's another distraught owner. His dog is currently jumping over the wall. Uh-oh, this dog's making a run for it. You'll notice that underneath the trees, there's a lot of tan or, brick yellow wedge splits. That's because the dogs have been doing their business around the bases of those trees. I was adding more vegetation like bamboo and leaves and stuff, but I think it became too much, and we decided to go with the less is more effect here because we have the height variation, the small details. We didn't think we needed to add too much vegetation, and you got to think that maybe this is a well-landscaped area that's right in the downtown core of the city, and it's just well maintained. There's Toto right here, and that's the dog from The Wizard of Oz, getting a little pet there for its good behavior, and the biggest tree in the dog park. So we didn't add too many large trees. We thought if we added too many large trees, it would take away from the storytelling and just distract the whole view. So we added the large one there that I built with arches, the tree leaf elements. There's a bird on top there, all sorts of leaves, and it's all held in place by the 1x2 curved slopes and also some branch elements that stick between the leaves or like through the holes. Looks like a dog just finished doing his business right there, and this owner is currently using about to use the trash bin there to throw away the dog waste, and this good owner is picking his dogs up. There's another bench over there with another couple dog owners, and then ball right here, and also a security officer just making sure that everything is going down safely here, or a police officer, I guess. So yeah, that's our dog park. I think it looks pretty good. I love the elevation. I think that adds a lot to it. When you get down in that sort of perspective view, you can see that elevation, which is really cool. And then the curved wall really breaks it up as well, and also the fact that the path isn't just like straight and right angles, the fact that it sort of curves around looks really good. I can't wait to place it in the city and see how it looks in its spot beside the diner there. I know there's going to be a lot of work involved blending in behind the dog park, but that's just something we're going to have to do in the future. A lot of fun stories, and I think some really good building techniques, and this thing has really come to life. I really like the end result of it. It is fantastic. As we get that point of view perspective here, coming in through this street, and then bam, we've got the dog park sort of concealed right there by the diner and behind the bowling alley. One of our main objectives with this build today was to make sure that it was modular, meaning that it can be placed anywhere in the city like modular buildings and road plates. So I'm glad that we built it on 4 base plates. If we were ever to relocate this and put this in a different area, it would be very easy to modify this right here. For example, we could just replace those with green plates. We could modify this wall, keep that swerving effect, and reconnect it over there and increase the size of the dog park. For now, it sits beside the diner because we're going to create that seating area. We also want to create a cart that is selling dog toys and dog treats. I think that would be a super cool, fun way to add a story over here. And you can see what I mean about it being a little bit higher up, like we built it up with the mills. And then we have this rock edge on the platform coverings right there, which is about 6 bricks, I think. So I'm gonna have to find a way to blend all of this in. And the plan was to have a mountain bulging out from Ninjago right here. So maybe we can modify some of these platform coverings and have this transition downward so it sort of blends in with that seamlessly there. And then also when we have this mountain here, it can be built so it blends in seamlessly with the dog park. But we just have to be very careful when doing that, because then we're gonna be building mountains and things specifically for this elevation. We got to make sure that we have the ability to change things in the future. But I'm glad that this is its own module. I think it's a great way to fill in this space. Our goal was to create a really good looking dog park that wasn't just, you know, base plates or mills plates with a few dogs in there and a white picket fence using the pre-molded pieces. We wanted to put some love into it, put a day worth of effort into it just to make sure it looks good here with the surrounding city. In the past, we used just a basic dog park as a temporary filler, but I think this one is going to be more of a permanent fixture that can move around the Lego City based on where it needs to go. Or maybe it's going to remain right here because I think this is a great spot for it. We've got a good opening right there, so there's some visibility. It's sort of like a hidden gem behind the bowling alley and behind these little townhouses here, so I'm pretty happy with the end result. It looks great. It's sort of what we were envisioning, but I think the curved fence is something that we didn't have in mind. Like, we knew we were going to build a stone wall rather than using fence elements, but I don't think we imagined it being curved. I think that was something that was sort of an additional thought, and it really worked out in the end. So there you go, everybody. The Lego City street continues. Super excited that we were able to build that and place that in the Lego City today. I hope you enjoyed this update. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Have yourselves a fantastic day. Bye for now.